The Oklahoma City Thunder are off to an incredible start. They're first in the West by a couple games. They got the best defense in the league. Shea's been incredible. Jalen Williams has taken a massive leap, and they're doing this all without being fully healthy. I'm absolutely terrified of this team moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, the Western Conference is going to be in trouble for the next couple years, but the rest of the West at this point. The Blazers are in their division, so we get to play them 4 times a year.
Before we start talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos. We're not going to talk about their whole rebuild in this video. We've done that in a couple past videos. I'm sure we'll make a huge video about them one day.
After they've won not 4, not 5, not 6.
Not 6.
Because they're on pace to do that at this point. So we'll start with last season. They had already completed the rebuild. They were first in the West, won 57 games. Chet was incredible in his rookie season. J-Dub made a big leap in year 2. They had Lou Dort as a 3-and-D guy. They had Giddey, who wasn't doing much on the court and had some just insane accusations off the court. But overall, the supporting cast around Shea was incredible.
Yeah, Shea himself, I mean, I think he is actually the most consistent player in the NBA. He's not the best, but he basically gives you like 36 and 5 every single night. He's never going to score 50. In fact, his career high is what, like 44?
I think something like that. Maybe a little 45, 46,
Has there ever been a player like that in NBA history who averaged like 31, 30 for a season, and yet his career high is like in the mid 40s?
I can't think of that.
It's almost like he like cuts himself off after he scores like 30 points. He's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need it anymore.
I'm good.
Yeah, he was second in MVP voting, only behind the Joker. But Mark Dagnall, he did take home some hardware. He won Coach of the Year deservingly. They swept the Pelicans in round 1, but the Mavericks did give them some fits in round 2, and mainly it was the Mavericks' size. The Mavericks averaged over 12 offensive boards a game, kind of just dominated the interior. They also just shot the lights out, like PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. were hitting shots I've never seen them hit before, but that was the main problem. The Mavs just had more size and they were just bigger down low.
Yeah, I mean, Chet's a great interior defensive player, but this has always been not necessarily the knock, but I guess the concern about him is like, he's skinny. If he's playing against like a Derek Lively or a Daniel Gafford, you know, someone with a little bit more size, a little bit more strength, like they're going to be able to push him around on the interior. And outside of Chet, like the only other, I guess, big you could say they had is the other Jalen Williams, and he's only 6'8". Like they really didn't have a true center on their team last year. And like you said, they did great against Luka and Kyrie, but when you couldn't stop the big boys in the paint from gobbling up all those offensive rebounds, like it was too much for them to overcome.
Yeah, and like we said, some guys on Dallas are just shooting insane. If that doesn't happen, maybe they win the series, but they go out in the second round. They followed this up though with just a fantastic offseason. Like they didn't need to make a ton of improvements. They were already the best team out west, but they got even better. First, the Caruso for Giddey deal, just a phenomenal trade. You get rid of Josh Giddey, who wasn't great last season, and honestly, I never loved the fit with him and Shea.
Baffling.
Yeah.
How did they do this?
I don't know. You bring in one of the best defensive perimeter players in the league, a guy who has championship experience, and you don't give up a first-round pick. You don't give up anything else. You just trade away Giddey.
You give up a player you openly did not want.
Exactly.
For one of the best role players in the NBA.
Yep.
Pisses me off how well run they are.
They draft Nikola Topic with the 12th pick in the draft. That was a pick they had in the Russ CP3 trade. He tore his ACL. He's going to be out this entire season, but at one point he was seen as maybe the first overall pick in the draft, or at least like a top 3 guy. To be fair, the draft was not deep. It was an awful draft, but like it's just another guy just chilling in the background that could potentially be a very good player one day.
And God help us all if he develops like a #1 pick in the draft.
I sure as hell hope he doesn't. Like, not anything against him, but maybe on like another team he can do something. The Thunder are already too good.
Yeah, and less than a week later, they locked up Isaiah Hartenstein to a 3-year, $87 million deal. Now, on the surface, I can say, like, it's a lot of money to pay Hartenstein, even though he is, you know, a very good role player. 3 years, $87 million, that's a ton of money. And then you look a little bit deeper at the deal. The third year is a team option. So basically, starting next season, that's an expiring contract you can trade if for whatever reason his play has dipped. And he's fucking hooping right now.
Right. And he's just a perfect fit because, like we said, the Thunder need to get a little bit bigger down low. They needed someone who could grab rebounds. And we saw what he did for the Knicks defensively last season. Did a great job in Embiid. Just a perfect offseason. They were already going to be one of the premier contenders going to this season. And somehow they got even better.
Yeah, and they've been dominant this season, particularly on defense. I mean, their defense is otherworldly. We raved about the Timberwolves last year. This unit is better.
I think so.
I think they are. They're leading the NBA in steals at 12.2 a game. Next best is Atlanta at 10.1. That is 20% more. They lead the league in pass deflections. They're the only team in the league that has less turnovers than steals. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, you get a turnover if you throw the ball out of bounds. Offensive foul. There's a million ways to have turnovers. They have less of those than they have steals.
Yep, and it's just like they always got dudes in the passing lanes, whether it's Jalen Williams, Caruso, Casey Wallace, Shea, Lou Dort. So many dudes who can get steals, get deflections. I mean, they got 3 guys in the top 12 for steals per game. That's insane.
Unbelievable.
In the most recent game at the time of this recording, that Dallas game, that defense just swarms. Like, they always have hands up for deflections. They're getting steals. They can double Kyrie and Luka if need be and still like swarm back, close out guys like close out Clay if they needed to. They crash the paint. The whole defense is on a string just working perfectly together, and it's unreal to see, and they're not even fully healthy. Once Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein are finally playing together, how the hell are you going to score against this team?
You're not. I mean, I think at this point in the NBA, we have like the wrong team is called the Hornets right now. Because this is like a swarm of like, you can't get past them.
No.
Unfortunately for them, though, they're going to miss Chet for a little while longer. He went down with a hip fracture, just their 10th game of the season. From all reports, he's out until at the very least early January, so probably late January, early February. I mean, you're doing fine without him. Why rush him back? I'm sure they're missing him, but they're still winning games. And then Isaiah Hartenstein missed the first 15 games of the season with a broken hand. Jalen Williams has been out the entire season with a hamstring strain. So for a while, they were running, 6'6" J-Dub at center.
Yeah.
Seems like a recipe for disaster. They made it work.
Yeah, he was actually incredible running at center. He had that one moment against the Pelicans, back-to-back blocks at the rim. He's actually like an underrated, very good rim protector at 6'6". I really don't get it. Once they're fully healthy, like we said, they're going to be impossible to score against. And the offense is pretty damn good too. Shea, automatic 30 a night. I saw this stat the NBA put out on Twitter. Since the start of the 2022-2023 season, he scored 30 plus points in 65% of their games. Like I said, you pencil him in for 30 a night. That's what he does.
I wonder, someone go out and do the math. Like if you bet Shea to score over 30 every night of his NBA career, how much money would you be up right now?
I mean, the past couple of years, you'd be up quite a bit.
You'd be up a lot of money. On top of that, I mean, he can facilitate, he can play defense. For as much as he has the ball, he doesn't turn it over that much. He's super efficient. I mean, the dude's just everything you want in a superstar. And then they have Jalen Williams, who they got with the fucking 13th pick in the draft.
Yes.
Out of my brother's alma mater in Santa Clara. Like, how the fuck? Like, they get good players at the top of the draft. They trade for them. They get good players in the middle of the draft. They make the best trades. They make the best free agency signings.
It's not fair.
It's not. Jody Allen, can you pay Sam Presti like $100 million a year to run the Blazers?
I mean, Jalen Williams, he's a Swiss Army knife. Dude can do everything. He can drive and score. He's got a nice, like, step back mid-range game. He's a great shooter. He can get steals on defense. He can guard on the perimeter. He can guard the interior somehow. Dude's making a pretty strong case for an all-NBA team and maybe even like second team all-NBA at this point. They got pretty good shooters as well. They got 7 players shooting over 37% from 3. And finally looking at the rest of the season, I'm feeling pretty damn good. I picked this team to come out the West.
Well, good for you, because I'm feeling pretty terrible. I picked them to go out in the second round.
Yeah. If anything, I wish I would have picked them to win the finals. This is a crazy stat I saw right now, and it's early. Let's calm down. Let's not freak out, but let's just admire this stat. They are tied for second at the time of this recording in all-time net rating. Only team ahead of them, the 96 Bulls, known for being a pretty good team, and then the team they're tied with is the 97 Bulls.
Also pretty decent.
Yeah, it's also pretty good.
They're ahead of like 2016-17 Golden State.
Yep, Celtics team last year, they're ahead of. those Spurs teams, Lakers, whatever team you want to pull up. Yes, at the time of this recording, early in the season, yes.
You know, at least Oregon is really good. I get to look forward to that because I have to worry about the Blazers getting, buried in a shallow grave by these dudes for the next 7 years.
Yeah, it's just not fair. I'm scared of them. We talk so much about the NBA having parity. Seems like a dynasty is coming here. You got the Celtics out east, you got the Thunder out west. We're going to get some pretty good matchups moving forward.
Just wait until that second apron hits.
Yeah, that could be the death. We'll see. So what do you guys think? Can anyone stop the Thunder, or are they just a juggernaut that's going to be dominated for years to come? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like, and hey, while you're here, check out some of our other content as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.